Hello! Welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 80. You can find me online everywhere as Carolien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, the works, you know it. I have an Etsy shop, carolien.etsy.com or colourfulcreativity.nl, and there is an Etsy group and a Ravelry group for this podcast, which is the Colourful Creativity group, and you can find it in the group section on Ravelry. And there you can find show notes and chatter about yarn and the podcast episodes. So, welcome everyone. Welcome back to all returning viewers and welcome to all new viewers. I'm very, very happy you are spending a little bit of time of your day with me again. So, that was a bit longer hiatus than planned because, well, my husband got a man flu and gifted it to me too. So apparently that man flu was not really a man flu, but more a very, very heavy cold, almost flu. So it took a while to recover and to get my voice back. Last week I was still sounding like a crooked crow or something. It really didn't sound well. And talking for long made me cough so much that I was like, no podcast this week. So very sorry about that. I also had my birthday last week, so it was busy, and now it's Monday, start of the week, and I was like, I'm gonna record right away while the sun is out. It might change because we're having stormy weathers with lots of wind and seriously crazy spring weather. Last week we had 20 degrees, so I'm not complaining about what we have now, that it's a bit more mild, a bit more colder, and rain. We really need rain here. It's so terribly dry still from last year. So, but we're not here to talk about the weather, so let's dive into knitting. And of course, I forgot to get my finished object, so I'm gonna grab it and be right back. Here I am, back with the finished object, a pair of socks. Let me do it with this hand. Yeah, look. A very simple, plain vanilla pair of socks. The yarn is right here. The leftovers. Opal Gallery in the colorway Orange on Lava Stone. And well, this is how much I have left. I think it's about 40 grams, maybe 45 to 50. I have to weigh it still. This is a pair of socks for my godson, and his birthday is next week, so they were finished with plenty of time left. I knit these on 2.5 millimeter high sharp circulars. It is just plain vanilla with a ribbed slip stitch heel flap. You can see it. Size EU 38, almost as big as his mom. So she was here on my birthday, she tried them on and they were just a little bit too small, so they would fit him perfectly, she said. Which is great. And yeah, now the search is on for some new orange masculine kind of yarn. Very wondering if I can still find some. I still have a little less than a year to go, so perfectly fine. Yeah, pretty easy, plain vanilla, not much to talk about the socks. That is the only whip, and might be the only whip you will see for a while. I'm not sure, but I have two cardigans on the go, and I will start with this one in my Ish Amsterdam Stephen and Penelope bag. Is my Rainbow Party cardi. It is a rainbow party for sure. I will grab a pattern to show you how it looks finished. The Rainbow Party Cardi looks like this and is by Stephanie Lotven, Rainbow Party Cardi. So it's a lot of fun. I am knitting, it's like this one, the light version. I still need to find my minis for the contrasting color. Yeah, well, I'm not there yet. So the yarn I'm using, Colourful Smooth Sock in the Quirky Rainbow colorway. This is one of 3 skeins and the other 2 are attached to my project since I am alternating skeins. And let's see, there's 2 here. I have done quite some work. I am not quite sure where I was the last time I showed you. Was it there? Not sure. But I managed to split the sleeves off. So if I fold it like this, you can actually see that it is a cardigan. Pick it up there. See? Very cute cardigan. Oh, beautiful. Raglan increase. And this is the back. Because it needs the collar, it's really small on the front. But I really like it. It's just plain stockinette, flat, boring, but totally fine. And biggest advantage of this one, it's so nice and light. I will come to that more later. I am knitting these on Higher Sharp interchangeables, 3.75 millimeter. Nice and sharp points. And this cardigan uses 3 different sizes, so this is the one for the stockinette. I had gauge and I've been trying it on and it looks great. The only thing I have to do is change the sleeves a bit, because now on the size I'm knitting, the sleeves will be way too big for my arms. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna do that, but plenty of time left because I still have about 14 inches of plain stockinette for the body to go. Guess that's it for this one. Next, let me guess, this one in my Tanny Cassie project bag. This project actually lives in 3 separate project bags. The first it was yarn I need to use, yarn I use, and the project itself with the current yarn. Now it is just 2 project bags with the yarn I used, because it uses so much yarn. It really doesn't fit in any of my project bags. Well, maybe just one, but that's in use for something else. So, but in here is my Marled Mania Cardigan, and also the reason why you will not see a lot of knitting in the foreseeable future, because I have done too much. This project is so heavy that, well, I busted my shoulder with knitting too much. I wanted to be as far as possible before Sock Madness would start, and yeah. I guess knitting 3 inches on this thing a day is not good for your shoulder. So my shoulder really hurts at the moment, and I'm trying to be mindful with what I do and only do small bits on light projects that are not heavy on the shoulder. So here it is, the Marled Mania Cardigan by Stephen West. I really love it, and I call it my dream coat, my Technicolor dream coat. I have done a lot, really. Last time I showed it to you, I was still in the collar. Now I am almost halfway through the body. I have sleeves, and I already noticed when I lift it that my shoulder hurts, because it really is because of this cardigan knitting. So here it is, holes for the sleeves, and then the body. I think this shows it best. Right. So there's a lot of different colors in here, which I will talk about more. I'm knitting these on 5mm high sharp interchangeables. Hi Binks, you're back again. Yeah, I have done some calculations on this, so let me keep it at this. I have 11 different colors, and there's like 200 rows. So I divided it in segments, and it came down to I have 10 different segments. That means with 200 rows, 20, and that divided by 2, we want to go from the orange to the green, yellow, and then back to orangey yellow. So I go back to this one on the ribbing on the bottom, and it flows into that pretty. I didn't want to have the color like this, like the big contrast. I wanted it to be a more smooth transition, which I like more. I do like it when it's a heavy contrast, but with the colors I picked, I liked it more like a bit more smooth flowing. If it were to be a teal color, I would be happy with a huge contrast, but I didn't pick that. So the yarn I'm using is 2 strands together. This is Madeline Tosh in Stephen Loves Tosh and Nutmeg. Then here, the first, it's 5 ridges per section, is Blind Date by Countess Ablaze. All yarn is singles, by the way. It's all 100% merino, and I think all approximately 360 meters per 100 gram. So it's all the same base. Hedgehog fibers, Guppy. Then still Blind Date, but with Wild Honey from Ushitita. And then I changed to Egg Yolk Hedgehog fibers. The Blind Date is going out. The Hedgehog fibers is going in with Egg Yolk together with still Wild Honey. Then Fool's Gold and again Egg Yolk for all the way. Then a one of a kind hand dyed by Sassy Sheep. When the egg yolk goes out, it's my own hand dyed in Mimosa. And then I got Das Mondschaf. If I want exposure, I'll get my tits out, the Captain Janeway version. Then the hand dyed by me goes out, and in goes Limoncello by Stranded Dye Works. And the last one is one from Das Mondschaf, and I have forgotten the name. Let me see if I have the cards somewhere. I do. Heisenberg, there it is. See, Das Mondschaf. Her Aurora base. And yeah, I really love it. I really love knitting with it, but as said, I have done too much, so now I just have to take care of my body a little bit better and be slow on this one. I probably won't be touching it for the next 2 weeks, just to give my shoulder a rest. I have already tried it on multiple times, and it is absolutely gorgeous and amazing. I think that is also what motivated me a lot to knit on it, because I want to wear this. I'm afraid I will be wearing this in summer. Not gonna happen. So I might just take it a little bit easier and try to finish the other one. Yeah. Like I said, I really love it. This is so squishy and warm and amazing that I'm so happy. I'm not even bothered with all the ends I have to weave in. I'm leaving them nice and long. And yeah. So the thing I'm doing is that I have a speckled and a semi-solid, and I keep it like that, and one of them goes out every 5 ridges. So it's either the speckle that's changing or it's the semi-solid that's changing, and that way I'm hoping the transitions will look pretty. I did have one partial skein of egg yolk and one full skein of egg yolk, which makes this almost the same yellow, but I really love that color, so I don't mind. And yeah, probably going in the middle section also for a double section again, so it's there and back again. As for the colors, that's how I call it. And yeah, I just have to see how I can manage with my shoulder to knit on it and not overdo it again. I do understand now why my mother-in-law was saying that she quit knitting because it hurt her shoulder. Well, now I know. I have a physiotherapist appointment tomorrow for my pelvis, so I will ask her about my shoulder too. She's always happy to give me advice on things, and I know now how I did it. So if I don't do it, I hope that will be okay and fix it. So just to show you that I'm not kidding, my blister bag, my sheepy project bag, this one is not as stuffed, and here is the project bag where the 2 skeins and the project itself is in. So really 3 project bags for 1 project. Wow, it is a big monster project, and I really love it. And I'm very curious how much yarn I will need, because I've been weighing for the 10 ridges per color I need about 40 grams of yarn, which leaves me at, well, the bottom half is smaller, less stitches, so it should be okay, but 20 grams for the sleeves per color and wanting it to be pretty, so that means 10 grams on each side. I'm not sure. So I still have to drink to keep my throat happy. A simple mint tea in my Berlin mug. And then there is another project. It is in my knit and stitch bits bag. Seriously, I can say it's in here, but it's not in here, because, well, I have here my ball of yarn. This is Perth Queensland Collection Perth Australian Superwash Wool Blend, and this is Rainbow Reef, the colorway. There you go. We balled it up because it wasn't possible to get the yarn from the inside. I couldn't find the strand. Sock madness has begun. Let's just state it. It has begun. The madness has begun. I cast on yesterday, and since there was ice speed skating on in from Canada, it meant staying up very late. For me, usually I go to bed by 9:30 or 10, and now I went to bed at 12. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this. This is what I did during the ice speed skating in fairly dark. It is the cuff and the first few rows of the pattern. And the pattern is called Smock Madness. So we're gonna smock it. The pattern is by Elizabeth White and she does make wonderful patterns. Let me show you here the smock it bit. Here it shows a bit better how the smock it part looks. I really like the pattern, but I really don't like the yarn with this pattern. This is a 2-ply and it's fairly loose and it splits up and it untwists quite a fair bit, which means that the pattern, the smocks don't really show, and I think that's a shame. A smock apparently needs a nice round yarn, so because I was really happy with that yarn when it came, and I was like, I want to use it the first opportunity I get in Sock Madness. But no, not gonna use it for this. So this morning I saw that, I looked at my stash and I was like, yeah, I am going to take something else, and I picked this one. This is an experimental skein of yarn, Colourful Sock, just 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon, so nice and sturdy. And I cast on. Again, I don't have a lot yet. I just put on some Netflix and cast on before showing it in the podcast because, well, I wanted to have something to show you guys. And well, I have 5 rows done, so I still have to do the rest of the cuff before I can start the smocks to see if this works better. I have seen so many in semi-solid, but semi-solid is always so boring, and a lot of socks in Sock Madness have to be knit with semi-solid because it just makes the pattern pop better, and this one is one of the few that you can just go all out. So I'm going all out with this one. I am knitting on 2.5mm needles instead of the recommended 2.25mm needles in the pattern. I am knitting the small size, and since I went up a needle size, I know I am at the right gauge and stuff for me to have them fit on my big feet. Like the small size is the smallest you are allowed to knit for qualifying. So I really hope I will qualify for the rest of Sock Madness, or at least get to reasonable effort with my shoulder. And yeah, I think I can only manage after this one round, because then the renovation is gonna start. Either I'm gonna knit a lot because I'm really stressed, or the other way, I'm so stressed I can't even knit and I have to do all the other things. We have had someone to check out our big tear in the wall and in the floor. We're okay. We don't have to tear it down and build it up again. We are okay. The renovation is still on. We just have to get another company to come and repair all this and fix it good. And we have to take some extra care on our floor, where there's also a big tear, and all will be fine. We're still very hopeful that everything will be fine, and well, hopefully there will be no other extras. So we'll see. Then I have done some spinning in the past 2.5 weeks, 2.5 something. I have been spinning on my spindle from the Spinner's Stash. It's really pretty, and that makes me really sad because I have dropped it. I I'll show you here. It's really, really rough. And you can see it. And there is a crack. You probably can't see it. There is a crack in there. It's here and here, and that makes this bit loose. I have actually dropped it another time, so here's also some rough bits, and yeah. Oops. Well, you call it a drop spindle. You can drop it, and well, this material apparently is not really drop proof, so I have switched to a more park and draft style instead of just having it down and twisting it and drafting. Binks really likes this thing, and that makes it quite impossible to spin. The fiber I'm using is a custom, well, a collaboration bat from Undercover Otter. She showed me how to make a bat, and we picked out fluff for it together, and she just showed me when I was there. I think it was already 2 years ago, so yeah, I am pretty okay with the yarn. It is, like I said, more an artsy fartsy thick and thin stuff, and not the fancy extra thin to ply. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna ply it or if I'm gonna leave it as a single. I have to see how it looks in the end. Then my other two spinning projects. Here I have the alpaca fiber. I think it was merino and alpaca. I forgot the dyer. Maybe it was Das Mondschaf, not really sure. But yeah, first half is done and it's been sitting there. I have to say I'm not a big fan of alpaca fiber apparently, because it really fluffs up the room. I now have seen plenty of spinning videos where people put a towel or something on their lap, and I started doing that as well because I was fluff all the way on my lap from spinning. Like you can see, Binks is really happy that I've got spinning projects in my hand. And this one is actually a test. This is Coburga Fox, and I dyed some small quantities of different fibers, and it is my fiber test project. Like these small little bumps, and you can see it. This also gives a lot of fluff and stuff all around, but I really don't like this one. I am absolutely not enjoying spinning this, and I think I will just leave it like this and ply it and just have a really tiny bit of fiber. Well, that's also part of experimenting and testing out different fiber bases. I don't like this one, and it's pretty and orange, and I'm probably just gonna, maybe it's enough for a hat for a gnome, I'm not sure, because, well, my friend Angela from Yarning Yarns and the yarn shop and the podcast is making lots and lots of lovely gnomes with her hand spun, and that's a great idea. So I can finally use my hand spun instead of just putting it somewhere behind a door in a cabinet and not seeing it again. But yeah, I am absolutely not happy with the Coburga Fox, so I will just continue with the next one. I will save the fiber and see what I can do with it. Maybe I can just send it to someone else who would like to learn to spin and try different fibers. Who knows? I know my friend Angela loves orange, so maybe I could make another package for her. I will have to see. Yeah, that was it for all the works in progress, I think. Let me check. That was it. And then we are at the acquisitions. And I will start with something that has been, well, that came in a lot earlier, but because of the whole scare, I put it in the freezer and I was like, oh, there it's safe at least. And as you can see, I save it all in these bags now. Since this is a clip, yarn clip, the Clan of Igor's, I am going to say watch it, spoilers, but this one is from January, so if you haven't gotten it yet, I think you probably will not get it. No, that's not what I mean. You had to be in the club from December and you can't get it anymore. So that's what I mean. So this is Clan of Igor's January and the colorway is called Fritz. And where is my little thing? There is my little thing. Just a sec. With the Clan of Igor's, Undercover Order also sends a leaflet with some interesting details on it. The inspiration is horror movies because, well, it's Undercover Order and she does lots and lots of horror inspired stuff. Everything actually. So January was Frankenstein. And there's a lot of info about it, and Fritz is one of the characters. It's the hunchbacked crony of Dr. Frankenstein. And, well, I really like this. It was very nice in those dark days to get something this bright. I really love it. And then, as you might know if you're returning viewers, I am planning, or at least I was planning, to knit a Marled Mania sweater in purples and pinks. I'm looking beside me because that's where I keep it. There's lots and lots of stuff there. I have shown it in an earlier episode, and these two are just the two perfect colors I was missing. This is Screaming Satsuma. Seriously neon. It is as bright as it shows. I love it. I'm actually thinking I need a full sweater with that, but let's not. I think when I put it on, I will regret having worked it, but together with lots and lots of other ones. This one's Dr. Phoebus or Dr. Phoebus, how you want to call it. I have no clue. It's purple with stuff and it's from Undercover Order. And this is her squirm base. I also picked my Clan of Igor's in the squirm base because that's just my favorite base. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my mild obsession with Undercover Order yarn. I may have a scale yard 15 to 20. This year I'll be adding 12 because, well, the Clan of Igor's is a yarn club for the whole year. You can still join. You can also join monthly, but I just was like end of December, giving myself the gift of a whole year of podcast content. I will be showing the yarn that I get the month after. This one has just been a bit late. I wanted to show it last episode, but I didn't have it with me, so I was showing it now. I just, early February, the yarn from February came in. I can tell you it's vampire inspired. It's really pretty, but I put it aside for next episode just to make sure that everyone who's not in the Netherlands and shipping takes longer won't be spoiled. So you will see the February one later this month. Then I have gotten something really special, and I will have to remove the plastic. I like to keep it very safe because it really is something special. I have gotten something from Seattle. It is in the Lazy Stupid Godless, the LSG group on Ravelry, monthly thread where you can just donate your prizes and also win them, of course. Yeah, you finish stuff and you get points. It's really nice, and I really love it, and I won a prize, and I won the prize that I really loved. This is carefully packed in paper. The most beautiful thing I have ever seen, I think. This is a 100% silk yarn in gold. If you know me, you know I love gold and yellow. You saw my Marled Mania cardigan. So this is absolutely the thing that I am madly in love with. And I am keeping this very safe in a Ziploc bag. I got this, someone donated this, and she then sent it to me. There is also some lovely chocolate in the package. M&M's with peanut butter, and also Reese's dark chocolate, the small ones. Oh my, they are so amazing. And I'm not showing you because, well, it's chocolate and you know what chocolate looks like. And frankly, I already ate some. What is chocolate for otherwise, right? Next up, like I told you, I had dropped my drop spindle and broke it. And since the disc is loose from the rod, I was like, yeah, let me email the maker, like the spinner's stash, and ask her how I can fix it. Well, the rough bits are not fixable, because the material is a one-time thing. You can't reheat it and then melts again, and etc. and add some. So that's not gonna happen, but I can fix it with some hot glue back to the rod. So it will still be a workable spindle. Then she also offered me a new spindle for a discount price as a service, and I was absolutely amazed because, well, it was my fault that I dropped it and that I broke it. So really awesome service from the spinner stash. Here is her card. She's in the UK, and well, she not only sent me a new spindle, she also added a little thank you, which I have been looking for ages. Seriously. A little spin thingamajig. Does it say anything? The spinnerstash.com spinning felt applies. No. This is from Spinolution and has yeah, a WPI, wrapped per inch measurement thingy that I have seen, but I have not seen them where they have the gradient thingy on top. I was looking for this, and I was already planning on letting it make by someone who can cut acrylic stuff, laser cut stuff. So I'm very happy with this one. And this is the new spindle. If Biggs lets me show it. Again, with sparkle and sequins and stuff in there. I really like it. It's a very pretty new one, and very great service. Let me put it away. Oh, Big Sir, you are a naughty mister. He just wants the spindle. Seriously, he doesn't want me. He wants the spindle. Then I thought I was being smart. I have a XoXo DPN set and it goes up to 3.25 millimeter or size 3, I think, in the US. And I was like, yeah, sometimes I just want a size bigger. Like when I was knitting hats, I was like, it would be nice to have the DPNs a bit thicker so I can fix the top, the crown decrease on DPNs instead of having to magic loop it with 3 stitches. Also, picking up my mom's dropped stitches would be a lot easier if I had the right size DPNs for it. So I thought, let me check. Well, XoXo did not have the right DPNs in a set. They only have the small ones as far as I know. And I was like, well, I'm gonna buy myself the little case and also the DPNs from 3.5 to 5.5. It's like 6 sizes. It fits 6 sizes in the case. I was like, fine, but I could not find a photo of the inside of the case. So I was like, well, it's probably just gonna be bare. And then it came and I was like super amazed when opening it. And it just had sizes in there, like 0 to size 3. I was like, no, I do not like that. So in here I have size 3.5 to 5.5. So 3.5, 3, 7, 5 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 4.5, 5, and 5.5. And I have to figure out how to remove those things. Well, removing it means I have to undo it all. So I'm probably gonna sew by hand a ribbon over it, or I'm just gonna ignore it and not be bothered. Yeah, I'm not sure how big it bothers me, but it does bother me that I had an idea and I bought it for the shop as well. I did not only buy it for me, but now my idea of selling it is down the drain. I wanted to sell it like this as a set, but with those little numbers on it, I'm just not happy to sell it like that. So I'm gonna sell them all loose, so you can just buy DPNs per size you want and buy the case if you want it. Yeah, the idea was nice, but it just didn't work out the way I thought it would. So let me know what you guys think. If you think, oh, Carolien, don't even bother. It's a great idea and those numbers, we can just ignore them. That's fine. But I was just like disappointed. And then we come to the last thing I got. I was really curious when I saw this came out. I actually have not opened it yet, so I have to find the opening or just show it to you like this because it's really pretty. This is Scheepjes brand new whirly gig. So it's a gigantic cake of 1000 meters and I believe it's 450 grams. This is colorway number 210, plum to ochre, and I'm a really big sucker for gradients, especially when it's plum and ochre. Guess what I'm wearing? I'm really falling hard for these 2 colors. So yeah, the yarn is a 80% virgin wool and 20% alpaca, and it does feel really soft if I feel it like this. I will see if I can just open it. Yes, it opens it fairly easy. Here we go. I mean, look at it. It's almost the size of my head. Seriously, it's huge. I have absolutely no clue what I'm gonna make with this. I just had to have it. And seriously, then I saw the price and I was like, wow, it's like almost 80 euros for one cake. But if you think of 4.5 skeins, and well, it's not even €20 per 100 grams, so hand-dyed yarn is way more expensive. It's reasonable. It's okay for the quality of alpaca and virgin wool. And this is a DK weight. It looks a bit splitty at the end, but I think my own handspun is also splitty at the end, so I think that's normal. I'm really curious how this will look when knit up. And probably gonna be some scheepjes designers who are gonna make some really pretty patterns at the moment. So I'm gonna wait for them to come out and see what this will be. I just wanted to jump on the wagon early so it wouldn't be sold out when I got one, and yeah, I had to order anyways, so yeah. I do think the weight of the yarn will be something that I will have trouble with, because I only ever go for fingering weight because it's nice and drapey and light, and a DK weight is always a bit more heavy. So 450 grams of DK weight, what could I do with it? I'm pretty sure it will end up being a really nice big schlanket or something. That would probably be very nice. Yeah, that was all my acquisitions and everything yarny I wanted to tell you. And the episode is long enough again. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be half an hour. Well, apparently I cannot do that anymore. Make it half an hour. Maybe next time if I don't have a lot of knitting. And I have something here that I wanted to show you too, because for the Smock stitches in the Smock Madness socks, you need an extra little a DPN or something to wrap the smocks around the stitches. If you don't know how to smock, that's no problem. I have done it for the first time yesterday. I had a nice YouTube tutorial for it, and it's not as easy. It's not as difficult. It's fairly easy. It's easier than cabling, I think, because you don't have to fiddle with the stitches that much. Then in the Ravelry group, there were people who used toothpicks. I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. That's really nice and small, and you can just pop the stitches on, and the size is actually pretty comparable with a 2.25 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter knitting needle. And then there were people who painted them with nail polish. I was like, yes, I'm gonna do that, because that makes them nice and smooth. So I have now 3 little toothpicks. I can break one, I can lose one, and I still can smock. And there's plenty of toothpicks where those came from. So sometimes you just have to go with what you have. And it's really nice to see people get creative and inspire you to do that as well. Then before I leave, of course, I have my friend Monique from the Frog Peak Creations Etsy shop, and she has a coupon code for you guys. Colourful15 will give you 15% off of everything in her shop. So go check out frogpeakcreations.etsy.com. And yeah, also, since it's Sock Madness, I also have a coupon code in the shop. It is Sock Madness, and it will give you 10% off of everything. I am also having a sale on certain yarns and things. I put in the GB wolle. I think I reduced the price with about 35%. And also the Unicorn Clean was reduced a bit and put in the sale section. So if you want to shop and enjoy a little shopping in my Etsy shop, carolien.etsy.com or colourfulcreativity.nl. I want to have as much yarn out of the house before we start renovating, and I was like, some things I don't even want to get back. We are going to renovate the yarn room into a dye studio, and we are waiting for the plumber to reach out to make an appointment. I've reached out to them with some questions, so I'm just waiting for the reply, and hopefully that means that by this time, 2 weeks, I will have everything up and running upstairs. Fingers crossed for that, people. And if it is, of course, I will give a tour in the new studio, even though it's pretty packed and full stuffed because of everything else that is shuffled around. I mean, I already have unpacked my big cabinet and stuff from the kitchen that's already packed up and put away in the attic and everywhere. Oh geez, really, I hate moving, but well, renovating is just like moving. You have to pack everything up again. Oh well. I will see you back in 2 weeks, I hope. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your knitting and crafting time. Bye bye.